this is Dan Smith of DPS Legal Counsel, and welcome to today's video. I'm going to be talking to entrepreneurs who are interested in starting and operating an online business, an e-commerce website, or some other type of online business. And what I want to talk about is the impact of the Wayfair decision dealing with sales tax and how that will change and impact how online businesses deal with sales tax on a national basis when they're having customers in various states. So let's start with Tennessee. Let's go back and talk about Wayfair a little bit. Wayfair was a U.S. Supreme Court decision that came out in 2018 that essentially changed the basis under which a state can impose and collect sales tax for sales made in that state. Prior to the Wayfair decision in 2018, Supreme Court precedents, cases that had gone before, essentially laid out a physical presence requirement in which a business had to have a physical presence in a state in order to impose and collect sales tax for sales made in that state. The physical presence Nexus requirement is what it was called. The Wayfair decision changed that. Now it's no longer necessary for there to be a physical presence in a particular state for a business to be required to collect and pay over to the state where the sale is made sales tax. What is required is an economic nexus rather than a physical presence. And what constitutes an economic nexus with a particular state is going to depend upon the state law of that particular state. So if you are an entrepreneur, a business person who's looking to start an online business, you're going, and if you're going to be making sales throughout the United States, you're going to have to look at the economic nexus rules in each state in which you plan to make sales to see what the rules are. Let's take an example. I practice law in Tennessee. What is the rule in Tennessee? The rule in Tennessee is that there is economic nexus for a seller of goods if they make gross sales aggregating $500,000 or more within the previous 12 months. And so if you meet that standard, if you meet that criterion, then you are required as the business person, as the seller of goods, to register your business with the Tennessee Department of Revenue and to collect sales tax and pay it over to the state. If you meet that requirement in a particular month, let's say, for example, you meet that requirement in May of 2020, sometime during the month. Looking back 12 months, you met that $500,000 threshold in the previous 12 months in the month of May. If that's the case, then under the rules that the Tennessee Department of Revenue have set up, you're required to start collecting sales tax on your sales in Tennessee on the first day of the third month after you meet the test. So if you meet the test in May of 2020, then the third month would be June, July, August. August the 1st, you would be required to start collecting and then paying over sales tax to the state of Tennessee. Now, between the time that you met the requirement in May and before you were required to start collecting it, you would need to register, obviously, with the Tennessee Department of Revenue in order to collect the sales tax. So, if you are a business person, an owner of a business, and you're going to be and you're out of state in Tennessee, and you're going to be making sales online in Tennessee, then you need to look to see if you're going to meet the economic nexus test in Tennessee, the $500,000 threshold for the previous 12 months. So you're going to have to track that. So maybe you don't meet it this month, or maybe you don't meet it next month. You're going to be needing to look every particular month to see if during the preceding 12 months that $500,000 threshold was met. And if it is, then at that point you need to register your business with the Tennessee Department of Revenue and start collecting sales tax the first day of the third month thereafter. This is just an example of the kind of rule that might apply to you in other places, but you're going to have to look at the particular laws of every state in which you're going to make sales and to make sure that you are in compliance with the state law of each state, and they are going to be different. So it's just another complication, another challenge that small business people have when they are setting up their businesses, and particularly if they're setting up businesses to be online or e-commerce businesses. But nowadays, online e-commerce businesses have a lot of potential in this environment. But you're going to have to make sure one of the things that you are compliant with are the various sales tax laws of the states in which you make sales. All right, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. And until next time, we'll see you on DPS Legal Counsel's series of video episodes dealing with legal issues for traditional businesses and online e-commerce businesses. And also we help physicians and small healthcare practices. But if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. Until next time, thanks.